Haven't.
One of the greatest questions that's ever been posed to me. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yeah. Well, what is a sandwich?
Rare sample
Well,
collected.
I guess it depends. If a sandwich is really just meat between two, pieces of bread,
Calling in an eagle.
then
Yeah,
in fact,
continue with
hot
that.
dogs. Yeah, I knew where I was going. I avoided that. Thank you very much.
Hey there, folks. It's me, Nugget95, lovingly known as Nugs, coming to you today with my very first Philosophy Nuggets episode. On today's menu, we have the question: is a hot dog a sandwich? I'll be answering this question on Helldivers 2, doing a solo dive on the challenging difficulty. So not only will we talk about hot dogs today, you might also get some laughs in. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode of Philosophy Nuggets.
Launch initiated.
Go now, and fear the shadow of neither death nor tyranny, for justice is your cause.
Alright, let's see, we're getting started hot today, that's for sure. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the question: is a hot dog a sandwich? So, because this is ultimately a semantic issue about what the word sandwich is, knowing that there's multiple types of sandwiches, we have to ask or find out what the definition of a sandwich is. So I've gone ahead and done the dirty work on Google University for you all. Not gonna lie. Oh, lordy. About to make me mince meat. Okay, not gonna lie. Google's probably gonna be my best friend for all the philosophy episodes, just because, I don't feel like writing a whole college dissertation. So bear with me as I, figure out the best sources and all that kind of stuff. They may not always be the best, but we're gonna make do with what we got. And I got someone trying to make me a hot dog right now. Oh, okay.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Ready to liberate. Throwing grenade.
Alright, so on that Google University, I went to the websites of two of the most popular dictionaries of the English language, the first one being the Oxford Dictionary. The Oxford Dictionary is pretty much regarded as the end-all be-all for the English language. If you did not know that, well, get with it, please. That is where all the new words such as the Gen Alpha slang of Riz and I don't know what else is out there, to be honest. But that's where it all goes. The other dictionary that I used was the Merriam Webster dictionary. It's been around for about 150 years, so I'd say it's pretty credible as well. here's the deal. Most dictionaries have similar definitions of hot dog. However, the Merriam-Webster differs quite significantly in my opinion. Alright guys, because this is a semantic issue, I went ahead and went to Google University and looked up definitions of a sandwich actually is. I did find two slightly different definitions, meaning we're going to be going in two different routes today. The first definition I got from the Oxford Dictionary. If you don't know, the Oxford Dictionary is pretty much the standard for English language. That's where all your new words like, let's see, riz and gyat and goat might go, if someone is silly enough to call them words. The definition from the Oxford Dictionary is specifically two slices of bread, often spread with butter, with a layer of meat, cheese, anything else between them. The other definition comes from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. It's been around for about 150 years. I would say that it has pretty good authority over the English language as well. Very respected. Its definition is the one that slightly differs. It does have the two pieces of bread part, but it does have two other like sub definitions of a sandwich. So I'll just read it off too. Webster says, and I'll probably just call it Webster instead of Merriam-Webster just because I'm short on time here. Well, short on attention span. Webster says two or more slices of bread or a split roll having a filling in between. It also says one slice of bread covered with food. It also says something resembling a sandwich. Let's get this, there we go, got the Hulk out of the way. Now we can continue a bit. So, because there's two slightly differing definitions, I believe that it is okay to go in two different routes here. I also don't want to spend more time than, okay, I'm dying profusely while talking about hot dogs, and it's kind of embarrassing, not gonna lie. Right. So with that first route, I'm just gonna call it the Oxford route for determining whether a hot dog is a sandwich. Well, it says specifically two slices of bread and oh my gosh. I'm about to die again, aren't I? That was needlessly complicated. Okay, so with the Oxford route, talks about two slices of bread specifically. Okay, so we have to establish how many pieces of bread makes up a hot dog. Well, it might be two if you poorly make the hot dog and split the bun directly in half. But to me, it is more one piece of bread because a good hot dog is not going to break apart. It's just split in half. So, with the Oxford route, it's pretty simple.
I need a chain reload.
The Oxford route's pretty simple. Not a hot dog. I mean, oh my gosh, not a hot dog. Not a sandwich, according to Oxford. However, I want to make this a little interesting and not just kind of end it right here. So we're gonna go down the Merriam route, the Webster route. I mean, the Merriam-Webster route. One day I'll get my words together. Obviously, the first part of the definition from Webster, 2 or more slices of bread or a split roll having a filling in between. That 2 or more slices, that part of the definition is totally cut out. You might could call the hot dog a split roll, but what is a roll? I'm gonna omit that one for now, just because I don't feel like going down that road. Because there are many different shapes and forms of rolls as well. So we're gonna focus on the single piece of bread, because I've already established that it is indeed a single piece of bread. Just because it is a single piece of bread doesn't mean that it fits the definition entirely, which is covered in food. And here's why on that. There are actually, and I didn't know this, other countries, according to this awesome hot dog style guide that I got from Food Republic, shows a bunch of different types of hot dogs that have been created. Oh, whoa! I'm about to be a hot dog, that's for sure. Ow.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Man, this game is really just throwing it at me today.
Found something.
In other countries, it is not, the hot dog is not on it is on a single piece of bread. However, the bread covers the hot dog. The hot dog does not cover the bread, as Webster's definition requires. So these hot dogs from, I believe the examples are from China, Norway, Czech Republic, and Sweden. They actually just insert the hot dog straight into the... Let me try again. They actually wrap the bread around the hot dog to the point where it's a singular piece of bread, contiguous, doesn't split, completely closed. And to me, that kind of challenges our definition of covered, of the covered portion. As I said, the bread covers the hot dog. The hot dog does not cover the bread, which is what Webster requires. Once more, I probably said that, but my attention span is split so heavily right now. I'm going to deem this a closed bun hot dog.
Main objective near your position.
And truly, I believe that it is its own thing. It does not follow either definition of a sandwich. It doesn't follow the Oxford route. Doesn't follow the Webster route. Except one might challenge and say, well, it resembles a sandwich. Well, here's the thing about that part of the definition. I believe that's talking about the figurative language we use when we talk about two inanimate objects. Well, I guess bread is inanimate. Two non-food objects surrounding another non-food object. So that's what I think of when it says resembling a sandwich. For example, when you were younger and your two siblings were sandwiching you while you sat in the middle on the way of the car on the way to vacation. That's what I think that part of the definition means, so I think we can omit that because it's not talking necessarily about the food sandwich. So I think that the closed bun hot dog is truly its own unique form of food. Maybe we'll go into more of that later. So, at least for the hot dogs from Norway, China, Sweden, Czech Republic. Probably not a sandwich. However, because the hot dog was invented in America, we're going to focus mostly on the American hot dog. It was created in New York sometime in the early 1900s by a guy who I've already forgotten the name of. Um, this is your classic hot dog style with the split bun, and the meat is kind of just resting inside of it. Oh, I thought I had a big boy.
Attack underway.
You will never destroy our way of life! For prosperity!
Um, these normal hot dogs, if you will, even though I don't think hot dogs are normal. Have you seen the videos? If you know, you know. They are, we might call them an open face sandwich, perhaps. However, according to this super awesome food style guide, hot dog style guide from Food Republic, there is a separate hot dog in America known as the open faced hot dog. So that automatically means that all the other hot dogs cannot be considered an open faced sandwich. That was the route I was originally actually going to take. It does look like an open faced sandwich. So perhaps it lies somewhere in between open face hot dog and closed bun hot dog. Which means that now we have to look at the angle that the hot dog is resting on the plate. Because it is somewhere in between, we want to make sure that we're not venturing to either extreme of the open face all the way to the closed bun. Therein lies another problem. Now we've got to look at multiple different angles. We're going to describe it with two of the main ways I've seen hot dogs plated. Okay, so let me take care of this guy real quick and we'll go into it. Just because, well, maybe I don't need to. Okay, maybe I don't need to. Just gonna have a lot of fun anyway.
Firing orbital strike.
So, two of the ways that I've seen hot dogs plated, one of them is kind of when it rolls over on its side. So, like one half of the bun is lying directly on the plate. The other half is on top, and the other way is where it's sitting on the seam between that two halves of the bread. So, we're going to talk about those
Extraction
today.
is available.
So, if one half of the hot dog bun is lying directly on the plate, well, we've still hit the mark for the one singular piece of bread for the Webster route, but we are lacking the other part of that definition, which is the food covers the bread. Again, in this case, that top half that is not on the plate will be covering the hot dog. So I don't think we can call a hot dog that is lying half bun down, how I'm going to dub that, half bun down, that is not a sandwich. However, I've said however a lot in this video. However, if we are to put the hot dog on its seam, on the seam of the bun, we could call it a sandwich.
Shuttle inbound.
It is one singular piece of bread, and at that point, especially if you love chili, the food is covering the bread. So today, guys, we found out that hot dogs are way more complicated than anyone probably ever imagined. So if we're going to answer the question of Is a hot dog a sandwich? We've got to make sure that our hot dogs are lying on that plate exactly right. We've got to make sure that the buns are not closed, not half bun down, but that seam is resting on that plate beautifully. If it's a closed bun hot dog, not a sandwich. If it's half bun down, not a sandwich. The only way it can be a sandwich is if that seam is on the plate. But guys, I've been waiting to tell you something else. So listen up. In my ventures to discover whether a hot dog is a sandwich, I came across another pressing matter. You see, in one of our very own states, they have gone and made their own version of the hot dog, but instead of using a bun, they use a potato. A potato! Can you guess what state I'm talking about? So this brings up another question. Can a potato truly be a bun? I don't know. Like, subscribe, tell me what you think. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Can a potato be a bun? What other questions might I try to answer for you?